So today I want to talk about what what has happened in this generation of people having opposing views. Now, back in the day, 50s, 60s, you could have a husband that was a Republican, and we're not going to get into politics, but a husband that was Republican and a wife that was Democrat, and that was a solid household. That's usually kind of how it went. You have opposing views, but you can still make it work. Nowadays, you have people are way too quick, I believe, to you have opposing views, unfriend me. I don't need you in my life. I don't want your views to rub off on my children or to cloud where my thought processes and what have you. I think that's the wrong way to go about that. I'm somebody that has, I grew up on the West Coast. I lived in Oregon, in Washington, in California. Um, Grew up a Navy brat, so moved all over the place, and it's I got to experience a lot of different cultures in living in Portland, Oregon, and living in near Seattle, and living in San Diego, and in Lancaster, and what have you, in Mojave. I think in order to be a better person, you need to be growing day by day, and a lot of people forget that. A lot of people are stuck in their ways and in their mindsets, and completely shut out opposing opinions. In order to be a better person, you need to be able to have discussions. And in order to have discussions, you need to be able to hear opposing views and values. And you don't necessarily have to agree with those opposing values or those opposing views, but in being able to take those in, you can better your own thought process and your own understanding of why you think a certain way. So I don't when somebody has an opposing view, I don't delete them from my Facebook. I welcome discussion, because discussion is what builds us. It's what grows us as individuals. I have, I might think a certain way, but I have many different friends, whether it's the Pepper community or outside of the Pepper community, have different thoughts and different views and different values than I do. But I keep them around in order to build a better understanding of why I think the way that I do. And sometimes my viewpoints change. Sometimes not necessarily they waver, but they change because I've had great discussions with individuals coming from a different viewpoint. So I think it's very important to not shut people out, but but to embrace that. Embrace diversity and differences of opinions. Now, I think that we're going to get into my charge of the week here, and it's maybe hard for some people, but I believe it's important. Is start a discussion with somebody. It doesn't have to be heated. We're all adults here. We're all we're all human beings just trying to get by in this crazy world, and this crazy thing that we call life. So start a discussion with somebody that maybe has an opposing view from you, and try to use empathy, which is a big quality that a lot of people nowadays don't have. Try to use empathy and understand, again, even if you don't change your viewpoints, understand where they are coming from. Understand what in life has brought them to that thought process and why they think that way. And I think that not only will you get closer to that individual, but you'll also get closer to yourself. And self-reflection, and that is, again, I touched on self-reflection last week, or the week before last week. It's very important, and again, another trait that people are losing nowadays. So start a discussion with somebody that has an opposing view from you, and understand them, and then most importantly, listen. Instead of just blocking out and going, oh, this person, oh yeah, I knew you'd say that, or what have you. Understand where they're coming from. Take the time to listen. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we can listen twice as much as we talk. And in order to have a proper discussion, you need to be able to empathize, and you need to be able to understand where that individual is coming from. So I charge all my viewers this week to do that, to have a discussion, and maybe learn a little bit about yourself while learning a little bit about somebody else's point of view and their walk of life. Well, we're coming up on about a half hour here. Got some great football games on today. I know that's what I'll be doing for the most of the rest of the day. I'll be obviously competing in that, or not competing, but taking part in that Chupacabra Chug. So please tune into that on the League of Fire YouTube channel. A lot of big people in the community will be taking part in that. So go ahead and check that out today at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And I want everybody here to have a fantastic rest of your Sunday. May the spice be with you, and also with you. Have a good one, guys. Pepper Bay.